All right, all right. So I want to go ahead and welcome my man Ricky Black. He's calling in from Central Illinois State Prison. I want to go ahead and wish you happy Thanksgiving to Ricky and to anybody that's tuning in. How are you doing today, Ricky?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, man. Want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and all the viewers that are calling in and listening.
Appreciate that, Ricky. Appreciate that. So for today's stream, what we're going to be tackling is your board of parole hearing. You recently there's some changes that were made to your release date. You have been found suitable back in September. Then there was a procedural error, and they had a hearing this last Monday, which was the 25th, where they were gonna decide whether they were gonna let you to proceed with your original release date, or if they were gonna, pretty much make you start over from square one, right, Ricky?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
So you know what? It happened kind of fast. You were able to we were able to tune in, and you were able to listen to it, real time. And then
Yeah.
we parted ways, and then I didn't realize that they were gonna actually decide, right. They what ended up happening, they decided right there on the spot, right, whether they were gonna release you or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
I
see that.
didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, because after the hearing, I ended up putting the volume down, and we started talking, and
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
you ended up hitting me up. I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes later, saying that you were denied. I was like, what? I was like, man, like, how did Ricky get the news before I did? So how was it? How was it that you were informed that that it was they granted the motion that they put in to pretty much rescind your date?
My attorney sent me a text and said, he said, hey, he said, man, he says that was quick. They voted and they granted the motion and vacated your grant. And I like, because I talked to him the day before,
Yeah,
and he says that we wouldn't know the decision until around 5 o'clock.
yeah,
So I wasn't expecting a decision until 5 o'clock. I thought this was something that they were going to go back in the back room. They were going to, go over some things, discuss, the legal precedents of this matter, really make it, like this official thing. But man, I got to say, man, this was some kind of kangaroo court, as we call it here in California, right? Because
absolutely.
they voted they voted for it on the spot. I don't even know why they even accept callers. I don't know why they accepted my attorney and what he said, or wanted to know if anybody else had anything to say, because they just voted right there on the spot, and they didn't like consider anything that anybody had to say. And so I was just like, I gotta say, man, I was disappointed in the process, you know.
You know what, Ricky? I think when it comes to that, it's pretty much just the motions they got to go through. They, when they came out there, they already knew what they were gonna, how they were gonna vote, and then so they
Yeah.
have to let everybody speak their piece. And it's just a formality that they do. And we got a question on here from let me see. We had a comment here from Crazy Grandma. She wrote Happy Thanksgiving. Then we also had a comment from Bear's Mama, and she writes, "What procedural error? Would you mind giving us a little bit of more information? Exactly what was it that happened?"
Yeah. So the law, it's in California Penal Code section 3041 subsection B, as in Baker, states after the board makes a decision, they have 30 days to make that decision available to the public. So the public could view their decision in releasing a felon, a murderer, or whoever that they release during a board hearing. And for me, I committed a crime, took another man's life. So, and there's other people, whatever their crimes are. What happens is once you go to board and they grant you parole, they have to let the public know. They got to make my transcripts available to the public so the public could read exactly what happened in board and how they granted me parole, right? And it's a legal procedure. But what happened in my hearing is the recording, they say, wasn't transcribable, meaning they couldn't transcribe what happened, so therefore make the public aware or make the public, make the record available to them. And that's considered a procedural error. So what they did is they vacated my grant, my decision, and basically remanded me back to board to do this process all over again.
Man, you know what? And right now, with you know that you mentioned that they make those transcripts available to the public. You know, I had mentioned to you that I had reached out to the BPH via email, asking them to provide me with the correct board hearing transcripts, and they never even replied to me. Normally, I think it reads that they normally get back to you within I think 3 to 10 days, and it's been crickets. I haven't heard anything back, so it's been over a week now that I requested those transcripts and nothing.
Well, I have them. I have the transcripts myself, and I could read the transcripts and assess what happened. But I've been doing this a while, so I understand the transcripts.
Yeah.
But if a member of the community like you yourself, if you've never read the transcripts before and you was to read mine, it really wouldn't make sense to you right now because the way that it's transcribed. Now, I have a theory of what went wrong because I have my transcripts. And here's what I know, is that my commissioner that I had is Nigerian, and he's from Nigeria. And his accent is really thick, and you really can't understand him that good. Now, a lot of people have had problems with this commissioner and his thick accent. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is that a lot of these transcribers who transcribe the hearing, they're also from a different country.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Not only are they trying to transcribe the transcripts into English, which isn't their first language, but they're also trying to hear the commissioner who has a thick Nigerian accent and determine what he's saying, because it's just a recording. It's an audio recording, and they're transcribing it off an audio, right? And with this guy's accent, I don't believe the transcriber could pick up what he was saying. So there's parts of my hearing that's inaudible, incorrect, and incomplete. And that's why they're making me go back to board to do this thing all over again.
Ricky, you know what? Okay, so requesting transcripts and listening into Board of Parole hearings, it's totally new to me. So, how is it that the when they transcribe these hearings, it's not done here in the U.S., that it's done by somewhere else in another country?
Well, I'm not saying that it's done in another country, but it's done by somebody that has been hired that isn't originally, that their first language isn't English.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my attorney told me, he goes, a lot of times the people that they're hiring to do these transcripts are not even, English isn't even their first language.
Okay, I see. So,
See what I'm saying?
I've seen like some documentaries and whatnot online, like on YouTube, where they outsource, like call centers, like for phone calls for like Verizon or T-Mobile, or they just have like offshore call centers. So I'm imagining something like that when you're saying that it's somebody that might not be somebody that's their language English is their first language. That's what I'm imagining. And I'm sure California's trying to save a buck or two, so I could see them doing something like that.
Yeah, they could be outsourcing this to somewhere else for cheap money, right? And I don't, you know, if they can make a cheap buck doing that, then you know, I'm assuming that they might be doing that as well, because I was surprised when my attorney told me that. He goes, a lot of these transcribers, their first language isn't English. So I just assumed it was somebody here in America, but they're not originally from here. But thinking about what you're saying, that's a great big possibility right there, that they're doing that, outsourcing somewhere else and having them transcribe it. So,
yeah,
you know, the unfortunate thing about that is you know, I got on the podcast, man, after I got granted, and I expressed, you know, how being granted, what that meant to me, the work that I put in, and that emotion that I felt when I got granted. All of that is over. That's I gotta go back and do this again. I'm not gonna get that same experience. My family's not gonna get that same experience.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And they could potentially set my next hearing out 6 months from now. 6 months from now. Now, I've already been waiting. I'm supposed to go home in January. This January, I'm supposed to be going home. But I'm not going to get a board date until sometime in December. And that board date could be set out 6 months. So I could potentially not go to board until May. So I'm going to call you back right now, all right?
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah, do call me back. But if for any reason the call doesn't go through, because it's been acting up like that for like the last month or so, just keep on calling back, and as soon as it goes through, then I'll plug it in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, my man.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right. So pretty much, you know, for anybody that's just tuning in right now, Ricky was found suitable for parole back on September 19. And then within 30 days, the state of California has to give you the transcripts of the hearing. And from what I've been reading, it seems like in order for you to go home, that's like a requirement. They have to transcribe your information. Then they send it up to Sacramento to the governor, and then the governor he could either take your date, not say anything, or send it back to the parole board so they could do another. No, hold on, he's calling back, so I'll plug in the call.
This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Tel-Link. You have a prepaid call from
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call
Thank
and
you,
your
Casey.
telephone
Highly
number will be
appreciate it.
monitored and recorded.
appreciate
You
the
have
likes.
a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you were just talking about, you know, how the whole experience pretty much left you, feeling, and I want to share something with you. So I remember, you know, back when Blue was when he got found suitable for parole, and he didn't want to share with anybody. He didn't want to share it with, you know, his sisters, any of his family. The only person I think that knew was you guys there, me and his wife. And then he didn't let everybody know that he was out till he walked out those gates, and then he ended up showing up at their house. So I could see, him not wanting to share the good news till he was out, because you never know what's gonna happen between, you know, those 150 days to you walk out those gates. You know, it's very unpredictable, and now it seems like that's something else you have to worry about now, is if they have a procedural error. There is a possibility of them taking your date, and that's how did that go? You know, when you shared that with your family, that you pretty much have to start all over from square one.
Well, my oldest daughter, man, she's a woman of faith, and she was like, hey, you know, don't let this get you down. Keep doing what you're doing, and, you know, we'll do this again. And so that was her attitude on it. I sent my youngest daughter a text message, so because they both work and they both live out of state, so it's really hard getting on the phone with them because I work too. So the time differences are different. So I haven't spoke to my youngest daughter, but what I was telling Jesse and the guys here was, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to board and getting a grant and calling my two daughters and saying, hey, you know, I got found suitable. I'm not going to do that, you know, because I know they wanted to come up and they wanted to pick me up, and I know it would have been a big deal for them.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that this time, man. And I don't even believe I'm going to let them know I'm getting out. I think I'm just going to get out and call them because, you know, honestly, man, you know, I've broken their hearts for 25 years. I haven't been in their life. Telling them I got found suitable. They were ready to come out in January and pick me up. And now I'm calling them, and it's almost like I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Right? That, oh, I'm getting out. Oh, I'm not getting out. Like, and I don't like that. I don't like to say that I'm doing something and that's not going to happen. Now, this was totally out of my control. This had nothing to do with me, but man, I've been in so much trouble. I've been in and out of the shoe, you know, not being able to call, doing all kinds of stuff. So this is just like another one of those things that my girls have to deal with. Like, oh, Dad, you know, something else happened with Dad.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, you know, I don't want to have that experience, you know, again, something happens, you know, and, you know, really, I went to board on September 19th. This whole process that I'm going through right now could potentially take 10 months before I'm released. So I may not get out until July of this year. Now, that doesn't seem far for some, but for me, who was going to get out in September after 25 years, I'm basically going to do possibly another year in prison because they didn't have things right on their end. Their recording wasn't, intelligible enough to be transcribed. So this whole process is really not only frustrated me and made me angry, but, you know, it's also made me more determined. But I don't want to put my kids through something like that again. Like, hey, something went wrong. I got to tell them again. Am I going to get out? Like, that's just I'm not big fan of that.
Yeah, I can see that. You kind of feel like you let them down. It's like, man, like you just mentioned earlier on. You know, you've been through the, shoe and having a bunch of other things going on, and then you got to sit them and drop this in their lap. Like, I'm not coming home. I thought I was coming home, and I could see you not wanting to share that with them on the next go around. I don't know, Ricky, but you know what? I'm sure they found you suitable. This last time, I don't see why they wouldn't. But then again, I mean, it's the state of California, so you just never know.
Yeah, I'm a positive guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always hopeful. I'm optimistic. Things are going to work out, the way they're supposed to, and I'm a big believer in that. But just the process itself that you have faith in, and for something, just like the caller called in or sent you a thing saying, what's a procedural error? Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Most people don't even understand that there's a procedure, there's checks and balances that this board has to follow when they release us, and that's part of it. It doesn't make a lot of sense, just like when you think about it, like, hey, you granted a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you guys make a mistake, that's on you. But legally, they're bound by the law, and that's the checks and balances in the system, that they have to vacate the grant. They have to give me a new date. They say they're going to do it as soon as possible, but their soon as possible is 4 to 6 months down the road, because these commissioners have basically retired from their career choice. And this is their retirement plan, making a little extra money before they completely retire.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they become commissioners.
I have a question from one of our viewers right here, from Anna, and she's asking, did he get an apology or any explanation as how this happened?
Zero. Zero. I got nothing.
So how was it that they informed you that there was an error? Did they like call you? Did you receive a phone call? Did you get something in the mail? How is it that they inform you when something like this happens?
Well, they first sent an email to the counselors, and they brought me the notice, which was a notice that basically says, hey, your recording is inaudible. A motion has been filed to vacate your decision. Your hearing is on November 25th. And then I got, like a week later, I got a thing in the mail from Sacramento stating the same thing. It was the same notice saying the same thing. And now that this decision to vacate my date has been granted, I'll be receiving something else in the mail probably this.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Saying the same thing. Hey, your grant has been vacated. A new hearing has been reset. So, and there's no apologies with it. This is our government. When they make a mistake, they don't apologize. They don't apologize for it. It's what it is.
So it's just pretty much matter of fact. Like here's your new. We rescinded your date, and then so now the next step is for them to have who sets up when you go in front of the parole board. What are the steps of that? Is your counselor that lets you know when your date is? What happens in the background for them to figure out exactly when you're going to go in front of the parole board?
Okay, let me say this first. When an officer shoots and kills somebody on the streets for whatever reason, you never hear that officer come out and apologize to that person's family, do you?
Nope.
We're sorry. That officer never makes a statement of killing somebody or shooting somebody. It just doesn't happen. It's how our government works. So no, they're not going to apologize to me for what happened. But the process is this. My attorney said that I'll get a new board date within 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm assuming by, December 13th, I should have a board date. As soon as that board date is established, they're supposed to send an email to my counselor letting him know that a new board date has been set for me. And then there's like 4 or 5. I gotta sign this paperwork that states if I'm going to hire an attorney, or do I need a board-appointed attorney? And in fact, they'll go ahead and appoint me an attorney before I even sign it, and it will say who the attorney is. And with those forms, it's telling me what all my legal rights are, all of that stuff. Do I want the board members to be here in person, or am I okay to do a Zoom conference? And that's basically the process. And then I'll sign that paperwork, and the counselor will give me my copy, and my board date will be with it, date and time.
And another question for you, Ricky. So since all this happened and you're going to go back in front of the board again, do you have to pay? Because you had a private attorney, right? Do you have to pay do you have to pay all over again?
No, because that's one of the things that I had asked my attorney. I told him, I go, look, I don't have the funds to pay you for another hearing. I just don't. And that was all I could scrape together. And he said, hey, he goes, no, I'm going to do this one for free. He says, because this was no fault of your own. But let's say that I did something wrong and this happened, then I would have to pay him. But because this was something that the state did, he's doing my hearing for free.
Ma'am, I tip my hat off to him, for doing that. I mean, just like you, it wasn't his fault either. So, he's taking it on the chin, and, he's going to do it for free, which is, man, that's huge, because it's not, it might not seem like a lot of money, but it is, especially, when you're barely getting by, and then, I mean, your situation, your people are the ones that are coming out of pocket for it.
Listen, I almost didn't have the money to get him this time. And I got to say, man, my friends ask me all the time. Silas was asking me yesterday. He goes, hey, do you think paying for an attorney was worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, he sits in the boardroom with me. Other attorneys don't do that. Like, he's sitting there present with me in the boardroom. Like, he's my best advocate. It's like your best friend sitting beside you. Absolutely, it's worth paying an attorney. Would you go to court without a paid attorney if you didn't have to, or would you go in there and represent yourself? Always need a legal counsel, and if you could pay for your own counsel, I advise all my friends to do it because they're well worth the money.
So let me ask you. So, how does the attorney help you when you're in your hearing? Does he answer any questions for you? Does he exactly what's the benefit of having the attorney next to you?
So here's one of the benefits that my attorney had with me, and he only done this twice during my hearing, and I'm considered by most attorneys a veteran of the process because I've already done it 3 times. So I pretty much, already know what to say. I know the ins and
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
my attorney is having a conversation with me in person while we're sitting in this room waiting for the commissioners to show up on Zoom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just having him present with me,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
sharing, this 5 or 10 minutes before we're live, really put me at ease. It made me real comfortable, right? So having him there in that moment was really good for me because you want to calm your nerves. You don't want to have too much anxiety, and he really has a way of focusing you, on the moment. But hey, I got to call you back right now.
All right, for sure, Ricky. We'll be waiting.
Okay.
All right. Hey, what's up? Hey, thank you, Casey _ I really appreciate that. Hey, Joe, how you doing? If you're still in here, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's listening in, and thank you for that, Mari. Highly appreciate it. So, if you have somebody that's incarcerated and they're a lifer, this is something else that you're gonna have to consider before they walk out them gates. You just never know. Not only do you have to worry about the Board of Parole finding them suitable, or them catching a 115 in that process of them walking out the gates. Now you have to worry about if the information is getting transcribed correctly, and if it doesn't, then your loved one might be in a situation like this.
This call is now being
This
recorded.
is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
5.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Okay. What's
All
up,
right.
James?
Yeah. So and then when you get ready for the Board of Parole, it's not something that you do like the day before your hearing, right? This process of you getting ready, it's like maybe like a year and a half, a year before you go in front of the parole board, right? Because you have to get a whole packet ready. and there's a bunch of other information you got to gather before that you got to submit in front of to the board before you go in front of the board, right?
Right. Yeah. So this process starts really 5 years in advance. So you're preparing 5 years in advance because these board members want you to be clean and sober for 5 years with no trouble and all of that. So everybody preparing for the board has been doing it for at least 5 years before they go in there, right? And it's really, you gotta write out your board pack, which is really your relapse prevention plans, your remorse letters. You have all your support letters from your employer, your family, things of that nature. You've also written out, your life crime, what happened that day, things like that. You're also writing, other papers, writing essays, say on the causative factors of what led up to your crime, what caused you to commit this crime. So little papers like that. So this all starts in advance, right? And you also board prep with your friends and also your attorney. When you buy or hire your own attorney, they come up and board prep you, preparing you like for questions that certain commissioners might ask you in the hearing. So that's one of the things that me and my attorney did. But in addition to that, this is one of the most stressful moments of your life. It's the biggest job interview you'll ever have. You're talking about your freedom, so you want your biggest advocate in the room for you, helping you out along the way. And for me, it was my attorney. And one of the things here's a couple of things that he did for me, not only calming me down before the hearing, but during the hearing, 2 times, he tapped me on my leg. Now that's out of the view of the camera that's on the Zoom, but he taps me on my leg under the table, and he done it twice. And the reason he done it was because I had already answered the question that the commissioner asked me, and so when I answered the question, he tapped me, and that really let me know, like, okay, stop right there. You've answered it already. He done that twice. Because a lot of times you get a little nervous answering a question that you might say a little bit too much. So having him there to just tap me on the leg like that, to say, hey, that's enough, was great. Now, at the end of your hearing, the district attorney gets to ask you clarifying questions. Now, I don't know why that's a part of the process, because you've already been convicted. The district attorney has already done their job in convicting you while they're allowed in the board.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Why do they get to ask you additional questions? I don't know. I don't think it's right, but they're allowed to. So the district attorney from Kern County asked me some clarifying questions. And one of the questions that the district attorney asked me was, why was I avoiding self-help groups? Now, my attorney objected to that question. My attorney objected and said, Commissioner, I object to the phrase avoiding self-help groups because there's no evidence that my client done that, nor did he avoid self-help groups. The commissioner is really the judge in the room. Says he said that he stipulated that. He goes, you can't ask Mr. Black that question, and so the district, he says, but you can ask him another question. So the one of the things that my attorney was able to do was see the legal side of the question and how this district attorney asked me a question, and he objected to it, and the commissioner sustained it. Because I didn't avoid any self-help groups. We all went through COVID, so a lot of us weren't able to do in-person self-help groups. So that was another thing that my attorney got to do for me, was to object to the district attorney.
And if you would have been there by yourself, you wouldn't have been able to object that for yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have done that.
And I wanna read some comments off to you here right now. Joe is actually watching, and he says he sent me a text message. Listening to you now, my heart goes out to Ricky. I'm not sure if you've spoken to him, but yeah, he just dropped that in my on my phone. And then we have another message from Hustler Society, and he writes, "What up, crazy Ricky?" And then he also wrote, "Was with this dude back in 2000 on D Yard. We rode through a reception in Wasco."
Wow. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
We were kids back then. Right?
Yeah. That it's I trip out on that sometimes, when people sometimes I'll put up videos or the video visits, and then people will drop comments like, "Hey, I was with this dude here and in this year, and this is my name, and I remember this guy." So it's kind of a trip, it's kind of a surreal moment when people recognize you guys out here on social media.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's really a trip. Especially after all these years that people could remember you,
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been a crazy process for me, man, because, as you already know, that was my third hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had prepared so long for that hearing to get out. And, I help all of our friends out here in preparing. And, for Joe to call in and to say what he said, he understands the process, just like all of my friends, Jesse, Silas, and David, and everybody here. Nobody can believe that this actually happened, right? Like, I've changed my life. I've done everything by the book. Like, I go outside, I work out, I come home, and I chill. I go to work, I come home, and I chill. I go to college, I come home, and I chill. I don't get involved in nothing. Like, I've really done everything like you're supposed to do it. And I couldn't wait to be found suitable for parole and be granted, and to have that moment taken from me, and to potentially do, another year here is just like, I had to reset. I had to hit the reset button, and, that was hard to do, to prepare for these next 10 months, because I got to tell you, I had just enough food, just enough coffee, just enough cosmetics to last me until January. Didn't have to ask nobody for money. Wasn't going to ask anybody for money or send me another package or any of that. Like, all of my clothes, the things that I had was just, everything was going to last me right now, because I haven't done, I'm not one of those guys. I don't stock up on everything and live like some king. I have just enough stuff to last me. Now I have to hit the reset button and make sure I go and order, all the things that I'm going to need for the next 10 months,
You know what? And then also another thing is, you were set to leave, right before or right after they were gonna flip that yard. So that's another aspect that you have to factor in now with this whole being there possibly another 10 months.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy. There's going to be a lot of fights. There's going to be a lot of violence. And, I'm going to try to stay out of the way as much as possible. I'm definitely not going to be fighting. I can tell you that. All the cameras that we have here will be able to see that I'm not fighting. I'll keep my hands raised up and all that stuff. I'm not going to let nobody stab me or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But, if they just come swinging, like, that's no big deal. I've been punched many times in my life. So, a punch here or there, that's nothing. I could deal with that, for the next, however many months it has to be. But I'm definitely not going to let nobody try to take my life or something like that. But yeah, that's another element right here. And there's other things, like Joe knows, and the guy that called in. There's different parts of prison that's out of your control, that you simply can't control. And those variables right there can have an adverse effect on me at my next board hearing.
What was that last part, Ricky? I didn't catch that last part.
I said there's different variables in prison
Yeah.
that can have an adverse effect on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that can have an adverse, things that happen in here can have an adverse effect on me at board, meaning somebody could do something or say something about me before I go to board, and that could be put on a record that I'll have to answer to at board. And that could potentially impact if I'm released or not.
So in essence, so somebody could, let's say somebody's transitioning over from GP over to SNY, and they gave up some confidential information that'll come up on your parole board hearing, even though it happened 20, 15 years ago or whenever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
you won't know the information they provide. It might have been something when you were still living that lifestyle, and it might still affect you. 10 years or 15 years. Even though it happened such a long time ago, right?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, most of that information from back then,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of it won't affect me, won't have a negative effect on me.
Yeah.
But there's other things that are out of my control in here too. Like I'm still incarcerated, so anything that happens in here affects me. And like I say, I do a good enough programming that I stay out of the way, and I'm going to continue doing that. Nothing's going to get me down
Three-way call alert.
and getting affected my release. That's not going to happen. I'm determined. I'm more focused now than ever before. But yeah, man. I'm hoping that they take me back to board ASAP. I would love to go back in January. I'll have a new panel. Hopefully, I'll have a new commissioner. It won't be the same one,
Yeah.
so I don't run into the same problem. And we can get this thing over with, man. And hopefully, I could be out by April, right?
Yeah, just in time for Easter. So sometime next month. So sometime next month, you're gonna be they're gonna be notifying you of that information, or how does it work exactly?
Well, my attorney, hopefully, like once a week, I'm gonna send my attorney a text message
Yeah.
and see if I got a date. But I'm also going to have my family look online and see if I have a date posted yet. So I'll be looking.
Yeah.
My attorney said in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be looking online to see when this date is posted, because it'll be posted online before they even get at me. It'll probably be posted online before my attorney even gets at me.
And you know what? In the next question I'm going to ask you, it might be because I'm a bit naive, and I've never been to prison, but there's no way to get it expedited. Since it was something on their end that they caused, there's no way to get you bumped up to the front of the line. If maybe possibly somebody refuses to go to the parole board hearing, isn't there like a way to get you that spot? How do these things work?
So
You have 60 seconds remaining.
there's an analyst in Sacramento. He gets your information or email saying, give Ricky Black a board date as soon as possible. Well, that soon as possible is 4 to 6 months out, because all the board hearings are booked up until then. So the analyst sets you at the next available hearing, right? Now, my attorney says this could be affected by him calling the analyst who he knows personally. He says, I'm going to call the analyst and let him know, and hopefully I can get you a date before 90 days.
Yeah.
But let me call you back right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So, hey, what's up, Fish Layer SoCal? Happy Thanksgiving to all you. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Highly appreciate it. And hopefully everybody's having a Thanksgiving, especially you, Fish Layer SoCal. Hey, how did you like them? I know you say you're not big on sweets, but how did you like those tronquis, those little candies I sent over your way with Jesse and David's taffy? And then Anna writes, they should accommodate him. I definitely, on that one, I have to agree with you on that. That was their error, and they should get him in there as soon as possible.
This call is now
This
being
is
recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, my man?
So that's another benefit. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another benefit for the attorney for having the attorney.
Yeah. They are plugged in. So hopefully that does work out in your favor, and they're able to get you in there, ASAP. We had a comment from Anna. She wrote they should accommodate him, and I was saying, yeah, I definitely agree with her on that one, especially since it was out of your control. You don't have any control. You're pretty much at their mercy, and have to endure whatever time they're gonna keep you waiting.
Yeah, so there's a legal aspect to this too, and one of the things that I'm talking about is your victims have to be notified if you're going to board. And if my victims have to be notified once again, that's a 90-day process. They have, they give them a 90-day period to be ready. So if mine have to be notified again, then that's going to set me out at least 90 days. If they say that if they consider this a continuance, meaning kind of like a run-on situation or a spillover, then they don't have to be notified, and it can be set 90 days within 90-day period. But that's one of the catches that my attorney was talking about, was how were they going to treat this. Now, you heard the hearing just like I heard the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty kangaroo. There was none of these things that me and you're discussing right now was even discussed, right?
Yeah.
How they were going to look at this or any of that stuff. So this is really going to come down to my attorney and the analyst. And my attorney said he's going to send the analyst an email. I don't know, how they interact. People don't get on the phone no more. I guess you just get an email or something like that. A fax. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what, right?
Yep.
So I don't know what that interaction is. It's not like me calling you and me and you're having a conversation and saying, hey, my client got screwed. The board said give him a date as soon as possible. When's the earliest can we do it? Can we do it tomorrow, or can we do it next week, or can we do it next month? I don't know what that process is right there. But from what me and you heard at the board, at that executive board hearing,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like there's a lot of that back and forth in how things could be moved along at a soon as possible date, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, what I heard, they were just going through their motions, reading off, whatever, whatever they needed to read off. Then they opened up, the floor for any public comments or support, or, either for support or people against, you being paroled. And then they went on to the part where it happened so fast that I didn't even realize that they were voting right then and there.
Yeah, so they're, like I told you, they're soon as possible date is 4 to 6 months out. That's how board dates are set.
Mm-hmm.
They're set 4 to 6 months out. So, like I said, man, this was a very Mickey Mouse thing here. Yeah, it was all legally done and all that stuff, but it was real Mickey Mouse, man. I gotta say, the fact that they screwed up, I didn't hear them say anything about that. I didn't hear any remedy for me or anything like that. or even for the victims in that matter, that they got to go through this once again themselves, if in fact they want to be present, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a real sham for everybody. And let me tell you, not only that, it also affects, my ability to work. Like, I had a job lined up, I had everything situated when I got out, and I was on a timetable right now. So all of that gets put off too, right? So, this whole process, man, when I look at it, it's very frustrating.
You know what I was doing right now? I'm trying to look up the outcome. Because that day that you were heard, they had a bunch of other cases that for other individuals that got embanked. So I was trying to look up the information to check what the outcome of it was, because all the hearings that I've been seeing for like the last 2-3 months, it looks like everybody's been getting granted, when they get embanked by the governor. But they don't make it easy to find that information on this website. I'm over here trying to click on different links and whatnot.
Really?
But yeah, I don't know where they hide. I know I've found it before, because I did it for Pablo when I looked his information up. But man, I don't recall where the hell they hide this information, as far as if you're granted or if you're denied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't know if.
Go ahead.
I don't know where you would look. I don't know if you would go on Inmate Locator and look up that individual's information personally. So I imagine, like with Pablo, you can just go with the Inmate Locator and look his name up and see if his board situation changed or not.
Yeah, no. So there. So on the website for like the board meeting, there's a link somewhere on here, and it'll provide you with a PDF file. And then on that PDF file, it'll have everybody, like, so on the calendar for that day, it'll have everybody's information, and then it'll say like the outcome of the decision. But what's weird is that because there's like a page, like for every month there's a page, there's like November, October, and so on and so forth. And then on that page, it provides all the information for like the video links, if you're gonna view it via your computer, if you're gonna call in, and then it also gives you like the agenda and a bunch of other information. But it just doesn't seem like they have that file located right on, where they should, all in one area.
Yeah. I have that thing: how to speak publicly, how to submit a written statement, how to attend, how to join by phone. I have all these different links right here.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah, because
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
what I try to do is I have everything bookmarked on my computer, on my web browser, because I've had this issue before. Then I go back and I try to find the information, but I can't find it. So normally I'll just bookmark it. But I don't recall. I guess when I have a little bit more time, I'm gonna sit down and find that information, and I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll send that on over to you so you could see what pops up on this PDF file as far as your board hearing goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting. I'd love to be looking up that stuff.
Yeah, and then you could share with other people, just in case they're wondering, because I know a lot of times, people they don't have people, sending them this type of information. So I like sending this, things like this, so you guys are somewhat, informed, and are able to keep up with these type of hearings.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't make it a little easier for you guys.
Nah, they don't. Yeah, in the future, if you ever want to listen into one of these embanked hearings, I'll be more than happy to to accommodate you and have you listen in. I know that day you only listen to yours, but you could kind of see when other people call in, because sometimes there'll be family members in support of their family members to come home, and then you'll have the victims' families calling in, and some of the stuff they say it's really heartbreaking, just hearing the things that that the families go through, when they do lose a loved one.
Yeah, I know it's tough on them, man, and for those that have to listen into this stuff, man. That's the other side of it. is, the victims and what they go through. Then, there's just another process that they got to go through, not only burying their loved one, but also 25, 30 years later, not only going to the board hearings and having, statements, but also at the en banc hearing, and, they also have to do it again. So it's reliving that moment all over again. So I know it's real tough on them.
And let me ask you something, Ricky. On your hearings, did any of the victims' family attend?
No.
No?
No. No, nobody ever attends.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And with that, go ahead.
Yeah. I really wanted his family to attend, at my first one, so I could speak, to them, and they could hear what I have to say. Not that they want to, but I wanted to personally. But yeah.
We just got a comment from Eric Martinez, and he writes in, "Buenas tardes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, or to everyone." And then we also had Fish Layer.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Let me see. And then we also had a comment from Fish Layer SoCal, and he was wishing us happy Thanksgiving, and was hoping that everybody had a blessed day.
Yeah. Has anybody read you what we're having for dinner tonight?
No, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, would you mind sharing with that?
Yeah, I have the menu right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read it for you.
Okay.
All right. Beat David to the punch. Okay, so here's what we're. All right. I'm gonna try to sauce this up for you guys a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna have delicious green salad with dressing. We're gonna have a turkey roll, 4 ounces. We're gonna have steaming hot mashed potatoes and gravy, delicious. We're gonna have cornbread stuffing that's piping hot. We're gonna have cornbread. I said that cornbread stuffing. We're gonna have cranberry sauce, very cold. We're gonna have green peas to go with our meal because we got to have it balanced with veggies.
Yeah.
We're gonna have margarine and wheat bread. And now here's something. This is something that's exotic. I've never heard of anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have. Pumpkin crisp candied yams. That's for dessert. Okay, sounds delicious, right? It's got to be from some country that I've never heard of before. We're also going to have ice cold chocolate milk, 1%, and that's our Thanksgiving dinner. Now it sounds really delicious. But I want you to imagine this meal with no seasoning, because we don't get seasoning on none of our food.
Ricky, I'm going to be quite honest with you, Ricky. I probably wouldn't touch that tray. The only thing that I'll probably eat on that tray would probably be that cornbread and the chocolate milk.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff I would be giving away.
Well, I'm going to trade my entire tray for the chocolate milk. That's my plan.
Man, Ricky, right now when you mentioned when you're reading off the items on your tray, it gave me flashbacks. When I was back in the halls or in Kern County, like during this time, and I used to hate that piece of ham. Where they used to put I used to call it seaweed.
Yeah.
They used to put this seaweed next to it. I used to hate it. So the only thing I would eat is but we wouldn't get chocolate milk. We would just get that regular milk. So I would drink the milk. I would drink the cookies. Yeah. And if they gave us a piece of bread, I would eat that. And then the rest of the tray, I would just trade it because I couldn't stand that damn ham was like rubber. You would bite into it and you couldn't even you couldn't even bite into it. You would really have to struggle.
You have 60 seconds remaining
to try to tear a piece off.
So I guess on TMZ, they had the menu on Donovan, where the Mendez brothers and Suge Knight, what they're going to have on their menu. And, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to tell you, this is one of the worst holiday meals that I've ever been a part of here in Sentinel State Prison. Most prisons serve you up something nice. This prison here is the worst ever.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you: Do they sell do they sell any seasoning from in canteen?
Yeah, and packages.
Okay.
Hey, you want me to call you back? Call you back?
Yeah, we'll do one more, Ricky.
All right.
Okay. All right. So for those of you that are just tuning in right now, it's this is Ricky, my man, Ricky Black. He was sharing his experience. He recently got found suitable. Then that was short lived. They pretty much took his date away. So he's gonna be going back to in front of the parole board in the next few months, and then hopefully he has the same outcome where they do find them suitable, and if they do, then we'll be there recording that live in the flesh at Sentinel State Prison. 2025, I do anticipate a lot of people coming home that have shared their journey with us. For anybody that's listening in, might be wondering what journey. If you go over to YouTube, go to @Collect Call From, go to playlist, and then look up.
This call is now
This
being
is
recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
5.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Ricky, being away during the holidays is probably probably one of the hardest experiences I've had, and then, man, I remember, those days, were lonely, depressing. And then you got to deal with that damn rubber ham. So I can definitely, relate to you a little bit as far as what you're going through right now.
So last year, when we got this stuffing type mix, it was all runny and wet, right? So it wasn't even dry. It wasn't stuffing like it's supposed to look like. I don't know what it was. And then this dessert thing, that pumpkin crisp thing, was like, when I looked at it, it looked like vomit is what it looked like to me. It's just all mixed up looking stuff that just like, it was absolutely gross. And, there's, all the only thing that's really worthy of eating here, maybe the ham itself. It's probably the best thing on there, but there's a lot of these guys that don't have food, so I trade it. I'll trade the whole tray for chocolate milk. And I got a couple of home run pies here, some cherry pies that I got in my package. So I'm going to have me a little Thanksgiving feast myself with a little dessert.
And do you have a celly? Do you guys go out into the day room for this day, or pretty much is it like just like a regular day?
No, I don't have a celly. Most people don't have a celly here. Only a few people do. But yeah, you could. We had yard earlier this morning. We went out and chilled. It was nice out too. Nice and sunny. But we'll have day room later too, and everybody will be passing food and what they made and stuff like that. So. Everybody gets together, and I know Jesse and them are cooking some stuff up over there. I don't know exactly what they're cooking. I don't know if they're cooking. Jesse's up there cooking something.
I think it's burritos.
And everybody. Is it burritos?
I believe so.
Yeah, I might go stop by.
Hell yeah.
Poke my head in the door. He makes really good burritos, I got to say.
That's what I hear. You know what? I might have. I think I might have Felipe. Share, because I if they run their room today, Felipe might be doing a video call. Yeah. So If he does, maybe they could share one of those burritos with us on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does a real good job of it, man, I got to say.
Hey,
His tamales, though, was delicious.
tamale what?
Jesse's tamales, the
Oh.
way he makes his tamales,
Yeah.
is absolutely delicious.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a great cook.
Oh man, I remember last year I mentioned Salvadorian tamales, and
Yeah.
there was a bit of disagreement of as far as who makes the best tamales. Are the Mexican tamales better or the Salvadorian tamales better? I'm not sure if you ever had the Salvadorian ones, but
No.
they're different. Yeah, they're a lot more wet, if you will, and
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. When you do come out, we might have to hit a Salvadorian spot. You know what? And I just sent a message to Joe. I asked him if he wants to call in. He said he does want to call in. So I'm gonna send him the number he could call us in at, and then we could. You don't mind if he calls in, right, Ricky?
Nah,
Okay.
no, not at all.
All right. Cool. Let me. I'm sending them the number he could call in right now. Let me make sure I have everything.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Let me see. Hold on. Make sure I got everything set up over here to receive this call. Oh, okay, he's calling. Let me plug him in right now.
Okay.
Hello, Joe. Give me pretty good. Let me plug you in right now. Give me one moment. Hello, Joe.
Yeah.
Can you hear him, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky, man, my heart goes out to you,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Like,
Yes.
ooh, this is,
Yes.
you deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the process, my man. You know all the stuff. You know the fine line that we walk in here. It's a tightrope act, and to have the carpet
No,
pulled
I
out
know.
underneath me like that is tough.
I know, and you know that I know. I believe in numbers. I believe in it's a numbers game. It doesn't even matter if you do the work. It matters if you're lucky that day, if they feel good that day, if everything went right for them the day before, because they play with our lives.
Yeah.
It's real easy,
Yeah.
and they don't even know who does the work and who don't. So,
Mhm.
and I say that because
They
they don't really, in my opinion, they don't really look at us like that, right? We just walk into the room,
No.
and you're somebody that I know is perfect. You've been perfect. You helped me get better, and they do this,
Yeah. Yeah. Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker. We've never even heard of anything
Yeah.
like this. I never
Yeah,
even knew this was a possibility.
I don't even know what happened. I just was zooming around. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I seen James. I seen you on there. I heard, and I was like, oh hell no. Yeah, definitely. Can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it because this year, Ricky, this happened to you. It happened to Richard. I couldn't believe that. I have a friend who's been busted since he was 14 years old. He went in there. He was ready, and it happened to him. It was the second board. He got a 5-year denial on the first one. He fumbled. He didn't know things. He knew everything now. And all three of you, my heart goes out to all three of you because it's a hard walk. I don't even know how I got out here.
Yeah.
And again, it's a numbers game. I know I was fighting, but I see this, and at the time when I was in there, I knew how hard it is to come home.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's what I say, man. I was telling James, man, I really want to get on the podcast and really put it out there, man, about the experience. And because, this is no joke. This is a tightrope act. And truthfully, it's how they're feeling that day when you go in there. Because if you say one wrong word, they say, oh, no, denied. And it really is. And that's why, this might seem like a minor setback for some people, but for a student of the game, with the board process, this is much more than that to me.
Yeah, it is ugly, and man, my heart goes out, bro, because I know you deserve to be out here. You're one of the leaders on that yard. As far as like change, positiveness, turning your life around, all that, you're one of the leaders for that. You're in the forefront.
Yeah.
And if they would really do their homework, and if they would really zoom in, they would know that. They would know you're a poster child for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I live it. I live it every single day, man. And I try to be a positive example for our guys, Jesse and Silas. Gary and all of them, Carlos. All of them that go to board. I try to be the
community.
A positive example for them. So. Congratulations on all your success out there, and all the new things that are in your life. By the way.
Thank you, bro. He's right here. He's waking up and falling asleep, But yeah, when I think of that, when I see him and I think of you guys, like it's heart wrenching.
Yeah. No, I got to tell you, man. When the counselors walked up to my door that day and they gave me that paperwork, you can just imagine where my heart went at that moment. They said, hey, your board's been scheduled for November 25th. With that paperwork, I didn't know what the hell it was. My heart just sunk. I was like, dude, I'm getting in bumped. And I didn't know what the fuck it was until I researched it.
Yeah.
So you could just imagine, the feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro, because I was there, and I the day before I went to board, I was like, if I don't get it, I'm done, And I told somebody that right now when we're hearing it, I was like, man, dude must want to just, like, done, because, and I know those are just thoughts. I don't know if you have them, but it's just like, you try so hard, and you're doing everything right, and they come out with, like, they might not say it, but they're like, you're not good enough. You didn't do nothing right.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's a hard thing.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Only somebody who really changed and gave it their all will understand that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I hired an attorney this time, because I already been to 2 previous ones, and I should have got my date at my last hearing. And that's why I was like, man, I'm going all in. I'm going all in on this third one, and I didn't even have the money for it. Thankfully, one of my homegirls stepped up and paid, right? But I went all in because I didn't want to be denied again, because I know what the process is like. And then for this to happen, I was like, dude, like, it's unbelievable, truly.
And you know what, too? You know what, Ricky? I think that, this is the end of the year. And I think that they might, because the numbers, because they average this many numbers a year, they might let out too many people in the beginning of the year, and in the end, in the closing, they're like, well, we're laying out too many. We got to, and that's a sorry part, because if you get one day and all 10 guys kicked ass that day, and all 10 guys get the deserve to go home that day, then how many go home? 3? And then you get another day where it's all fuck ups, and none of them deserve it. And how many go home? Like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like, I know they're trying to do their best, but their best ain't good enough.
No, they could do better. They could do better. Like, honestly, I don't need to be sitting here for another 10 months.
I know.
I mean, I'm at risk for too many things in here. I'm exposed to too many things in here, and you're leaving me exposed to this environment for 10 more months, to where I could not be found suitable next time.
And you know what? When they talk about, you go home and you get back to your community, and you're such a great asset out there. I never bought into that really when I was in there, but now that I'm out. You will be surprised as some of the people I've met and conversated with, and we're not throwing names out or nothing, but they're like, it's true. It's true. When you get out here, you are affecting so many people in such a positive way, and I'm not even saying like normal people we're used to. I'm saying people that we never thought we would ever be around or meet, and
Yeah.
they come in all shapes and sizes and different walks of life, and it's like, dang, how did God put this person in front of me right now? Like, this is crazy, So what I'm saying is, to sit there another 10 months, it's a disservice to the world.
Yeah.
Because when I came out here, I didn't expect to do stuff. Yes, absolutely. To get back to my community, absolutely, right? But to meet the people I met, no. And they let you know how big you are out here, how much you matter out here. And again, you're one of the front runners. You taught me, you helped me, and you helped the whole yard right there. So I know I know how much it hurts me to hear that you're staying in there.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys are available, but if you guys, we could do one more call if you guys want to stay on for a little bit longer.
James.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
I think
Okay. I'll call back. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Call
Cool.
back right now.
Okay. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, James. He's not missing that rubber turkey. He just asked me right now, what do you feed? They feed you guys. I said, man, if you don't got no store, you starving. I ain't never ate that. That's one of my worst dinners ever in there, It's something I for sure don't eat unless they give like a pumpkin pie something and it's all cardboard hard,
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, bro.
I think when it comes to the food, we're definitely, I'm picky, and I know you're picky too, so we'll be neck and neck right there on trashing that tray right there.
Yeah, bro. That's not to say it, but to say it, like homeless people will look at that tray and be like, "What the hell is this? Like, get this out of here."
Yeah,
You better come. Yeah. Man, it hurts my
This
heart.
is Global Telling. You have a prepaid call from
Yeah.
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you guys were you were talking before we got the notification that the call was going to come to an end. So I'll go ahead and hand over the mic back to Ricky.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, like some of the things that you're talking about, man, a buddy of mine was telling me, man, there's things out there that just come out of nowhere, man. It surprises you. Really the goodness that you find in other people. And, the cool thing about that is, you've done all the work in here, and it really has made you a better man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you're able to share that with the community out there now and have a positive impact. And I know your experiences, you're very grateful for them right now, because had you not done all the work that you've done, you wouldn't be able to be experiencing those things right now at all. And now you get to share that positivity and that growth with other people.
No, absolutely. But again, I know I always knew that was only a little part of it, because you have to have so many parts going to actually get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right about that.
It's sad. Yeah, bro. And this is living, and now people get to see it. I mean, it's sad that it happened. For sure, it's sad that it happened. But people, it's not a perfect. I heard somebody telling you if they apologize to you, and over here when they said that, I know they mean well. I just laughed because it's like they half the time they don't even tell you nothing. Like I've been to a board hearing where I was ready to go, and they didn't even tell me it was done. It was like, oh, it got postponed. Counselors ain't on it. COs ain't on it. Information gets lost. you find out when you're sitting at the door waiting, like, where's it at? Like, I'm supposed to go home, or you know what I mean? And yeah, they don't. It's not a perfect world out here. It is far less perfect in there, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard me and Jay talking earlier, but we were talking about the executive board hearing that was on November 25th, and I was telling how Mickey Mouse it seemed, that whole process, because I have my freedom hanging in the balance, and all they did was yay and nay. Who voting for the motion to be granted, and who's voting for it to be denied? And there was a bunch of yays and one nay, and it was so Mickey Mouse. It was like, why are we even calling in and saying anything? And because they didn't even consider
if it gets outvoted like
all
that,
the other factors. Yeah, there was no consideration of the human element that was being affected by it. Not only myself, but the victim, the community.
No, but I know. When you talk about the victims going to the hearings, because my victims, their family did go, and I know that's extremely hard for them, and I get, believe me, I get that 100%. That when they put us through it, they put them through it again too. Like there's all kinds of ripple effects going on in negative ways. That I get it 100%, bro.
Yeah,
it ruffles every. Yeah. It ruffles everything wrong.
Yeah. It was a real sham, I got to tell you. It was a real sham. And to have my freedom in the balance like that on a yay and a nay, I was just like, dude, this is ridiculous.
You know what? I want to say something, Ricky. When I jumped in the call and you guys were talking about the transcripts being done by a person that doesn't even, this is not their first language, right? And when you said that, it hit a chord, because my first transcripts, I know what was said and wasn't, right? And when you're reading back, you could be like, you could decipher like, well, will you tell me? And they put like, well, on the tally, I said, and it makes it seem like a phone call, right? So they did a bunch of that in my first transcripts, where it was like, man, this ain't even accurately written. And I didn't think of that. I just thought they were lazy and they didn't want to do their job. But when you said that they're not this first language, all the companies out here, and this is something I learned out here, like not through experience, but through someone. All the companies out here, they all do that. They resource it out.
Yeah.
So when your credit card gets lost, and when you get identity theft, you're talking to somebody in the Middle East trying to figure this out, and they don't even understand you, right? So I get that, but and that, I'm not saying that's right. That's wrong too. But something so important like the board hearings, I don't think that's right to just toss it over like any other company, because these are lives they're playing with, you know. And then the next board commissioners read it, and they're not even getting accurate information or accurate how the hearing actually went. So I was just
Yeah, so my attorney is the one that told me, he goes, hey, a lot of the transcribers are English isn't their first language, right? But check this out.
Yeah.
What they're basically doing is they're throwing my whole hearing out, even the grant, and they're having a redo. So the new panel coming in, they're not even going to consider that I was granted. It's a whole new hearing, different questions, the whole 9 yards. The only way this isn't a new hearing is if I get the same panel and it'll be a mock hearing and they'll just walk me through it because they already granted me. But you know as well as I do, I'm not getting the same panel, nor am I expecting it, because things just doesn't work like that in the board process. So I'm expecting a whole new hearing with a whole different panel.
Ricky, I hope these next 10 months, I hope these next whatever you have to do before you come home, I hope it serves you well. And I know somebody in Netflix by that time, so we could do a documentary so you don't got to work for the rest of your life, bro. Because this is something that belongs out there. No, this is one of those that belongs out there to enlighten people and to help change the way things are done in California and to help make things better for the next man that's behind bars.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
and the next potential families, because if you're gonna let him out, you're gonna let him out. Like, you know what I mean? And if you're gonna keep him, you're gonna keep him. But you don't have to keep repeating to families, to communities. You don't have to keep reopening the wound. You don't have to keep pulling the Band-Aid off the wound over and over and over again. It could just be as less times as possible, right? So yeah, who knows, Ricky? Who knows who I know? Who knows who I know by then, brother? But believe me, if it can be done, it's gonna be done, because you're a good man. You deserve to live a good life, and you're getting old, little partner. You look young still. You look like a young Mel Gibson, but you deserve to live your life and just chill and get some Netflix money and never look back and buy a little house on the hill and just go fishing when you want. You know.
I know. Listen, I know I'm getting old, and another year in here, man, isn't serving me well. You know,
I know.
I had a plan on James coming up here recording, me and my daughters and my granddaughter celebrating our release, and getting it videotaped and all of that. You know, something that you experience yourself. And I know my granddaughter would have really appreciated that, because she does her little TikTok videos and stuff. But
that's cool.
I don't think I'm going to do it.
No, I get it. You're going to go that route. I heard you saying that, and that's why I didn't do it, because because in my heart of hearts, I knew they were pulling it. You know, as much as I had the date, I knew I didn't have it. And when I walked out, I was shocked too. You know, because I really felt like I was not coming home. I really felt like like, hey,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
When I'm on the yard with you in there, I feel like, hey, it's great, guys, I got the grant. But in my heart, I knew, like, I'm not coming home. This ain't really real.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen a couple more times before I come home. So and James told you that my wife knew, but I didn't tell her. And I think I told you, but just to remind you, like, I didn't tell her. She went on Inmate Locator. She found that on herself. You know, I didn't tell nobody, nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, I got it, but it's not. You know. And that morning when I left, I don't know if you knew that, but they didn't tell me to get ready. All in the middle of the night at the 2, 3, 4, I kept waking up. I'm trying to go, and I'll be like, hey, night man, and like, no, and I was like, oh, they pulled it, you know, like even to the day I knew they pulled it, and then they let me out way late, like at 5 a.m. The guys came and got me, the cops, and they were like, oh, we were supposed to get you a long time ago. And I was like, you know, again, their mess ups, their mistakes. But in my mind, in my heart, Ricky, I was at 4 a.m. I knew, I was like, fuck, I knew I wasn't going home. And that was my last day in there. And I still had those thoughts, you know, until they opened that door, or until they told me, because when they opened the door, they literally told me, like, right then and there, I had my shit ready. So, but it was like no warning, is what I'm saying. And I it's an ugly feeling, bro. And now you've been through this so much that ugly feeling is going to plague you now.
Why? Other than me being granted that day was the only emotional experience I had of being granted. The next day I woke up, I was in prison, and nothing changed. And you know, they had me under multiple investigations. At the end of my hearing, they go, you're going to be investigated for this, and you're going to be investigated for that. So I never allowed myself to experience that ultimate I'm getting out, because I was waiting for that shoe to drop, right? And then they came to my door with this. And so, you know, when I walk out the door this time, I'll know I'm being released. But until then, I'm gonna remain with the same attitude. You know, I'm not gonna celebrate anything until the moment I walk out.
Yeah, and I always look back at that time, Ricky, and it sucks, because when I look back at it now, I'm like, I got robbed for 6 months of not being able to celebrate. You know, but I mean, it's fine and dandy now. Once you leave that wall, once you leave that wall, nothing matters, bro. Like I explained to somebody that, you know, you change, but you still have your outlook on law enforcement and stuff like that. And what I'm saying is, when I left that prison, like any ill feelings I had, they just like evaporated, bro. Like nothing even mattered no more. All the times I got done
I
wrong,
love
or
that background noise.
like, yeah. Oh, that background noise is oh yeah, that's little Oasis right there, bro. That's
I love it.
That's the yeah. You want to say hi? Let's see. Hey.
Hi. 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 What are you doing? You just
You
wake
hear
up?
him? He's a grunter.
Yeah.
He's full of energy. He's a workoutaholic. He does squats. He's barely turned a month old, and
Yeah.
his little legs pick him up already. He was big. They had to get him out maybe like 2 weeks ahead of time. He came out 9 pounds 10 ounces, and like 2 weeks ahead of time, or at least 2 weeks ahead of time. They had to pull him out, you know.
Oh yeah. Big
Yeah, he
old
was too
boy.
big, and since then and he's been talking. He's been talking since then. He makes noises and he doesn't shut up. Yeah, hold on, let me put him back on because I know you're in there. You guys never get to hear this. Take the chip one out. Take the chip one out. Let him. Yeah. You're hungry? There you go.
What's your name?
Yeah, I took the chupon out of his mouth, Ricky, so you could hear that. You know. He that's the only time he don't really cry. He's a good kid. He don't cry. He don't do none of that. But when he's hungry or something, that's the only time you get to hear that kind of stuff. Like, hey, fool, where's my bottle? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful sound. Right?
Yeah, I know, and we never hear that. Yeah, we never get to hear those kind of noises in there. You know? It's just gray walls and boxers and chanclas, and that's it. You know?
How can babies smell so clean?
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Because they just came out. They just came out that daytime. So they smell clean.
Hey, Ricky,
you know?
if you want, we got one more. You want to call back?
You want me to call back again?
Yeah, you can.
Ricky, if you got nothing to do, call back, bro.
All right.
Hey, Joe, we got Elias man. Elias man's in the chat, and for anybody,
man,
for anybody,
Iceman, I said, "What's up? Happy Thanksgiving, bro. You know, thank you for showing all the support and love when you did, and now that I'm out here, it's just such a blessing. I've barely been out 7 months, and I think I've done a lot in those 7 months, Iceman. I think you'd be proud of me."
Yeah, and if anybody's wondering who Joe is, if you go under my profile, go to the first video, you'll see it has like I think like 1.5 million views. He was released back in March, man. He's living his best life right now. He's been out 7 months, and man, here we go. We got Ricky Black calling back.
This call is now being recorded.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Ricky Black.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Ricky.
Hey.
So right now I was mentioning to Joe that Elias man was on, and he just wrote a comment for Joe. He wrote, "I'm very proud. I keep up the great work. You earned it."
Yeah, thank you so much, bro. Iceman's the one that works out, right? He's the workout, James.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tell him, let me get off this paper, and I'm gonna go up there. I believe he's in San Francisco or up there somewhere.
Yeah,
we're gonna work out because that's something I haven't done since I got out. So you're gonna have to pull me back in shape, bro.
What?
Hey,
Am I hearing this
okay,
right?
Okay. Yeah, Ricky. Okay, so let me tell you something. I got up to 42 pull-ups. Remember before I left? 42 pull-ups. When you come home, what happens is you got to do all the classes at the transitional house, right? So your first week is fast. It's like you're learning the addresses you got to go to. You're learning the bus routes you got to go to. And at the same time, you're off the chain. you get in the house and you don't have to be home until 8 o'clock at night for the first 2 weeks, and then it's 10 o'clock at night, right? So me, I was like, when I found that out, I'm not someone that's going to sit around in the house, bro. I bought a pair of Jordans. I put them through the dirt. I'm wearing them right now, bro. And I bought the same pair brand new, And what I'm going to say is I was out from sunup to sundown. When they would allow me to be, I was out, bro. And I was just walking through cities.
Yeah.
I was listening to birds, listening to dogs, listening to cats, feeding squirrels. I was going to the beaches. I was doing anything not to be in the house because I've been in the house 27 years. Like, I don't need to be in the house, Yeah. So I was just out and about doing nothing and everything at the same time. And, your time gets consumed. Now that dedicated man would have worked out more. But remember, I was doing all the self-help. I was doing all the programs. I was giving back to the community, going to talking to these kids, those kids, that city, those cities, meaning this organization.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So my first month, 2 months, they were full, bro, because it was all about giving back and clicking up with different organizations, introducing them to each other, making them collaborate with each other. People get paid to do what I was doing for free, And I was all over, bro. I was all over. So workout took a big backslide,
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But when you free up, Ricky, is when you get your car. When you get a car, that frees it up because now, like simple, real quick. When you take a bus, you got to get ready. You got to walk to the bus stop. You got to wait for the bus. It's an hour over there. You're going to spend 3 hours in that spot. It's an hour back. The whole day is gone, bro. But when you get a car, guess what?
Yeah.
It's half an hour. It's 20 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. You're done. You're back. You're doing whatever you need to do. So that's when you really feel free. When you get a car, you get more time and you get freedom.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I'm a big workout guy, man. I'm always gonna get up early. If I get to get up 30 minutes earlier to work out. And
I get it. Yeah.
To do it, right?
Yeah. And they had equipment. I just probably worked out probably in the house 10 times total, but they had equipment. They had a bench. They had dumbbells. They had it. I was just never there.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. My whole, this whole time being done, man, doing these calisthenics, man, like I'm over it. I definitely want to hit some weights, man, and see a little bit of progress. But can't wait to be busy, like you were busy and doing all those things.
Yeah.
Like I'll definitely enjoy that. I know I got to be patient and
I met Jason, bro. I met your friend Jason where he was working at, and when I met him, it gave me great joy because he knew you,
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. But we're all gonna get there, bro. But it just hurts, Yeah.
He's working at Defy now. He works at Defy. He got hired on at Defy.
Yeah.
He doesn't work at ARC no more. But I can't wait to get out, man, to do some things like that and see everybody. I know I sent him a text and he couldn't believe it either. He said, "Geez."
I know.
Right? You guys got all good positive words for me, man, and I appreciate hearing from you guys and appreciate talking to you today and hearing your son. It's been a very good Thanksgiving for me. And hopefully the Cowboys lose today to the Giants. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, bro. This is Thanksgiving, but I want, we're gonna go do something. But I want you to know that when I heard this, like, this is how important you are to me. This is how important everybody is to me. Especially you guys, because you were on my way home. And Thanksgiving took a back burner right now, but it's okay because it's still there the whole day. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send you some pictures, bro, of me and my family and the baby, and just so you can have something to look forward to, and so you can be a part of our Thanksgiving, bro.
Thank you.
You know,
Appreciate that.
you're welcome. Yeah, it's my pleasure and my honor to be able to do that. You know.
Yeah. You're doing so well, man. I'm so happy. Jesse tells me all the time how well you're doing, man. It's good to hear. Good to see it.
Thank you. I'm still slow dragging a little bit because I intentionally slow dragging, but bro, I'm ready to run in a hot second. You know, I'm ready to pick these little feet up and really make you proud of me. You know, and be like, dang, that's right. You know. Yeah.
You're a success story. You're a success story already.
I know. I just, you know me, Ricky. I always want more, a little more, you know? Yeah.
We all do. I want the whole pie.
Three-way call alert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I want the whole pie too.
Piece.
Yeah.
I want the whole pie.
I don't even want the whole pie. I want to be the pie maker. I want to be the company, and I want to own the foil that goes underneath, 2-in-1, and the plastic top. You know?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, bro.
All of it.
Yeah, you make me happy right now, Ricky, just talking to you right now, bro. You put some happiness in my heart.
That's
you
good,
know?
my man.
Yeah. And James too, I wish you could see his face, you know, when we were watching the thing on the social media, you know, everybody right here was like, he looks like it's really touching him, like it's. I'm like, it is. James is free, but he's with us. He's been with us the whole ride. Like, you think he ain't gonna feel hurt?
Right?
Hell yeah, he is. You know? Yeah, bro. His little brocha was almost shedding a tear right there, bro. It was true. I seen the tear coming out of one of the hairs on the side, and he was picking it back up. It was coming back up, you know?
Oh, man.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, he looks like a hardened criminal, but he's not.
Look it, bro. Look it. Ricky, I'm going to tell you this. If you were here, James would hug you with his brocha. Each side will lift to the left and right and give you a big hug, you know? That whip he got.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hopefully my wife's not hearing right now.
He's got his own following, right? What's up,
yeah, his whip is saying, why couldn't I be the lawyer? I got all these hands. Each hair is a hand right there flipping through papers. This board hearing, that board hearing. He's like, no, you just said. You know? Yeah. The whip. We call him, who's your lawyer? The whip. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. The whip.
Yeah,
you know, God gave James that whip because that's just always in the conversation, huh? James is in the little Toyota Supra, a 2024 Toyota Supra, zooming down the. Hey, he gets a phone call. Hey, James, who's with you? Just me and the whip.
Hey,
it's on this shotgun.
Underneath it is the Cortezes. Underneath the whip is the Cortezes, right?
They're baby shoes, huh?
Yeah.
They're infant shoes right there. Yeah, bro.
Hey, you guys got to
no,
cracking,
but he
cracking
did.
up.
He did have he did his you know, his face is genuinely sad as it should be. You know, he's our companion, our friend. You know, and he didn't have to do the time.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's doing it out with us right here. You know.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah.
Ricky,
there's
another component,
process, man.
Behind us. I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's another component. There's other components to us, and I didn't know, and nobody shares them with us. But when I came home, a lot of people shared with me, you know, how hurt they were. And I'm not saying they were hurt because of the crimes we did, but they were hurt just because they knew us, you know? Like like people that knew me, you know, that were let's just say they were going in and out, you know? And then they got out and they were like, we knew you were never coming home. So they felt bad. And those are things we don't even think of, We think about the victims, we think about the community, we think about this and that. And when you come out here, you start finding out so much more about what we did and how it hurt people we love, in different ways. And you'll walk your own walk and see your own things. But I just want to give you that heads up, because those things, you think you're done with that, and you come out, you still like, damn, you still feel it. Not that they're trying to make you feel it, but it's just natural, and they're feeling it too.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I've experienced.
But I just wanted to share that because
you're talking about.
Yeah, bro. But what a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know.
This is a good Thanksgiving, not because I'm out here, but because I'm with you right now.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I know. Man, I've had a great time talking to you and hearing your son and sharing on the podcast, man. And this is definitely my last Thanksgiving right here, for sure. I know for a fact there's not going to be another Thanksgiving in here. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure there's not. I won't have to wait that long, but it's a process, and I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Hey, before
send my love, because I don't get to talk to everybody all the time, so just send my love to all the boys in there, and happy holidays and happy seasons, and thank you, bro.
Thank you, highly appreciate it, Joe.
Thank you for your time.
And I want to read off a comment.
I'll stay here till the phone call's dead, till the phone call's done.
I want to read a comment from Eric Martinez for Ricky, and he writes, Ricky, keep your head up and keep pushing. Maybe they need you in there a little bit longer to help out others to stay strong. Stay strong, make the negative to a positive.
That's right. Beautiful comment.
Hey, the obstacle is the way, right? I'm not running from the obstacle. I'm running to the obstacle. I'm going to get over it, and I'm going to help as many people as I can along the way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I know. We're about to get hit with the 15 with that mark right now. This is really going to be the last one, because I got hopefully they run day room, and if they do, then maybe you can make a little cameo appearance with.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
With Felipe.
Looks like they might be. Yeah, they're letting day room out right now.
Okay. All right. Hey, Ricky.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Bye, Ricky.
Yes, sir. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Love you, bro. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey,
James, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, bro.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. And like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we are out. Rato.
From the brocha.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, guys.
All
right, talking to all you guys.